Okay, so we've just had another session at Romford Short Film Festival. We've just seen Doggerland. Go on, guys, tell us who you are and what your involvement is in the project, please.
So my name's McHattie. I'm the director, co-writer and editor, wearing many hats.
I'm Martyn. I'm a co-writer, producer, and the lead role.
Did the idea for this come before or after COVID?
Well, actually, I'd always wanted to make, a grand film in our hometown, because that's basically where Matt and I grew up, in this small town called Burnham-on-Crouch. So if you ever go to the coast of Essex, as far as you can go, it's a weird little town. But yeah, Matt and I grew up there, and we've always been making films. And then it was, COVID hit, and I just felt very sad. So then I reconnected with Matt, and we came up with the idea, and then literally started shooting about 6 months later, and then sort of did bits and bobs here and there throughout the year. And it was COVID.
So what was, in your interpretation of the film, what had happened to all of these people?
So basically we kind of came up, it was like, well, they can't go near each other, they can't even breathe near each other, because we wanted that isolated effect, so we kind of came up with like mega leprosy. And then it just, with each iteration, it was like, we're going to have to have a scene where like one of them explains what happened, and then slowly, little by little, it got stripped away, and then just turned into a zombie film. Because we had a scene where like your character was like explaining everything to Janice, and it was just like, this just doesn't work. So it just turned into it's just a zombie film.
Yeah, and you had a micro budget, didn't you, to work with? Do you want to talk to us about that and the difficulties of working with the budget that you had?
We had like absolutely nothing. We're very blessed to have been making this film in Burnham-on-Crouch, because all the locals know us, and we managed to get in with the council, and they gave us a bit of money. In total, we raised $7,500. The production budget was just under $5,000, but a lot of that was spent on like getting any cast and crew down to Burnham-on-Crouch, because it's not exactly an easy journey. And so we'd be shooting for 5 days, renting accommodation for them. A lot of the crew members were actually from Burnham, because it shouldn't be a wonderful thing that COVID happened, but one of the things that did happen because of that is a lot of people moved out of the cities and to these remote locations. So as we were kind of like writing it and starting to produce it, we bumped into like all these people that had just worked in the film industry. So Max, our incredibly talented cinematographer, he'd worked on like Andor and things like that. And then our sound guy, who's another incredibly talented person, Dan Sherratt, he basically just runs a super successful like corporate video business, and he was our technical guru on set. If something ever went wrong, he would just be like, yeah, you need to do it like this, you're doing it completely wrong. Well, okay, cool. And so all the crew was local people, and that really helped out with the budget. And then the rest was convincing people to allow us to shoot in a school that will remain nameless, because we can't give out the name. But and then just completely destroying it and then fixing it in a day. So
Did you get all of the locations that you wanted, or was there any locations you just couldn't get your hands on?
There was a couple of locations we couldn't get our hands on. But obviously, what with the budget and whatnot, you sort of work around these issues. I think we were trying to get hold of like a dilapidated barn for the main character's sort of holdout, his HQ or whatever, and we ended up in the top story of another unmentioned property, because we said we wouldn't. But there's a massive old, about 600, 700-year-old house that is all made up for weddings, but their top floor is still under renovation. So like fewer couple of connections and stuff, we managed to sort of replace everything. But there was a few scenes that actually ended up rewriting themselves down to the location and actually turned out better for us.
Yeah.
So sometimes these things are actually a blessing rather than a problem, you know. So.
And in terms of shooting, did you have any interesting scenarios during the shoot in terms of, you know, because these areas, I'm assuming you didn't, while you may have had permission to use, it was probably quite difficult to actually close them off to members of the public. And I can imagine the shot where you come along and see the guy coming along the road to you. Any issues in terms of shooting stuff like that?
On that one, no, because we actually knew the guy that owned that bit of land, and that goes off just by the sea wall.
Yep.
So there wasn't really any issues with that one. The one that we had was walking around Burnham on Crouch with a gun. That was a little bit difficult, but you know,
It's a very small cut off town, so you get a lot of strange people come up and go, "What on earth are you doing with a gun walking down the high street?" You know, like I have to explain everything, and then someone else comes along, and I have to explain everything to them. But you know, obviously we had permission from the police, so that was the main thing. But
yeah, I mean, I'd be wearing a high vis, like, it's fine, I'm wearing a high vis. Like,
you
it's
walk
all
around
good.
with a clipboard, everything looks fine.
It's meant to be, that's fine.
And what was the most fun part of the shoot for you guys?
I mean, mine was the boat. I loved doing that.
Yeah,
So
that was
the one
nice
touch at
actually.
the end.
Getting out onto the water and sort of poodling around. I think my favourite was the school. It was actually the school I went to. So
Right.
getting to walk around my old school with a gun, pretending to play zombies, was quite an experience, I must say.
And in terms of like your other cast, do you want to talk about how you pulled some of those in, and obviously not having much of a budget, what was the lure for them?
With Charlotte, it's I mean, who played your mother, she literally just shined, because you know, we didn't have any money. We were asking, you know, like, look, this is going to be expenses, but I mean, part of the promise was, hey, we're going to do proper rehearsals, and if the script doesn't work, we can all write it together. So this isn't just you're coming in for a day and helping us out. This is, you're really part of the crew, and we really want to make this an ongoing thing. So basically, everyone that's acted in that short film, we're going to do the next one with them. So it was very much like, we're not coming in for a day, we're building a team, and we're going to carry on.
Yeah, it's not such a hard sell as you think it's going to be, isn't it? When you're casting a film. And what would you say was the biggest challenge of the shoot?
Biggest challenge. I mean, probably getting me to stop editing. That was probably and stop writing, because every single time I'd come up with a script, send it to Matt. Matt's, you know, he's a genius. He'd literally be like, this doesn't work, you know, you need to try this. That scene just completely kills the pace. But then as soon as we shot it, I would be hyper focusing on small little details that no one else noticed. And my wife actually had to be like, you've got to stop, like, you're killing me. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're editing in the bedroom and screaming about a pixel. So, yeah. Getting me to stop is the most dramatic thing.
Have we got any questions out there in the audience? Okay, hang on 1 minute.
I was blown away by that, especially when you just said the budget. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed it at that. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I really liked how, you know, you had some of the zombie film cliches in there, but it didn't feel cliche. And I think a lot of that's to do with your performance, and I also think a lot of it's to do with the location. There's like a real sense of like, you know, this place, and it comes across on the screen, I think. So yeah. I guess there was a few transitions that I noticed, and I assume they were pre-planned or storyboarded in some sort of way. Is that the case, or were there any kind of, you said you're editing quite a lot, were there any cool cuts you discovered during it? I mean, I think the standout one was the tree, day to night, which was awesome. But,
Yeah, that one, like we'd pre-planned, and yeah, all the sort of big transitions, they were pre-planned.
Adam likes transitions.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of, if you ever seen Death to Smoochie by Danny DeVito, or any of his films, like he does these really weird transitions, like mid-scenes, and I've been obsessed with them. So I've always been like, well, if we're going to do something, let's try and like knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Any other questions out here? No? Okay, so what is next for you guys?
Do you want to hit this one?
Can do. Yeah, I mean, we're both writing separate projects and a combined project. Can't reveal too many secrets, of course, but I think it's just something we enjoy, and it's all a learning curve. So it's more about doing something different, and actually, like you're saying with your question, trying to do something that's been done before, but from like different angles, like bring a different viewpoint to the situation. I mean, like there's always this thing that my mum used to talk about, which is like, you never see people go to the toilet on the telly and stuff like that, and not quite as relevant, but it always puzzled me. What do you actually do in a zombie apocalypse? I know you fight zombies and get yourself safe and all that sort of jazz, but like I feel there are really hard questions that are posed to your moral self that never really get cross that bridge as such. So I don't know, just like we'd sort of try and explore things from different angles. We've sort of got a few little things in the works at the moment, which sort of trying to play on maybe older classic stories and stuff like that. But
yeah, we're going to try and choose something in like about a month, which is like an old Wild West showdown, but they're both zombies, so they can't die, so they're continuously just trying to kill each other. And then the next big thing is another Doggerland thing, which is, it's nothing to do with zombies. The log line is basically, what if Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer grew up and achieved absolutely fucking nothing?
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I guess, the next big Doggerland thing, but that's not going to be done for like another year. We have to do rewrites, and then I send it to you and you tell me it's wrong, and then we rewrite it again.
it's right, it just needs tweaking.
Well, listen, let's give these guys a big round of applause, please. Thank you very much for bringing your film forward.
Thank you so much.
And we look forward to seeing what comes next.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.